Good day, everyone. I am Madeline A. Ali, and today we will be discussing the different ways of gathering evidence in a competency based assessment setting. This is an important aspect of training and assessment because the quality of our evidence directly affects the reliability and fairness of the assessment result. In competency based education, we don't just assess learners based on exams or theoretical knowledge. We assess whether they can truly perform tasks in the real world to industry standards. This is where evidence gatherings comes in. It allows us to prove that a learner is competent, meaning they have the skills, knowledge, and attitude to carry out a task safely, efficiently, and effectively in the workplace. So let us know first what is observation. So observation is the process of directly watching the candidate perform their task in the actual workplace or a simulated work environment. This is one of the most reliable ways to see how a person works and whether they can apply their knowledge and skills correctly. So why is it important? Observations allows assessor to gather authentic evidence of performance. It provides a real-time view of how the candidate performs under typical working conditions. This includes not only technical skills but also soft skills like communication, problem solving, time management, and adherence to safety protocols. So what can be observed? So we can observe technical skills, communications with team members, attitudes and professionalism, safety practices, problem solving and decision making, planning and preparation. There are certain situations where direct observation is not feasible. If that task is rare or doesn't happen often, handling emergency situations, if the task requires privacy or confidentiality, counseling giving sensitive feedback. If it's culturally inappropriate to observe the task, if it happens over a long period of time, what should assessors do? Use a checklist to track performance, supplements with questions to clarify the candidate's understanding. Be sensitive to the fact that candidates might feel nervous. Observes a range of tasks, not just one, to get a full picture of competency. Consider any supporting documents such as planning notes, diagrams, or safety permits. Like for example, watching an electrician install, test, and secure a lighting circuit while following safety standards and interpreting a wiring plan. So let us now proceed to demonstration. Demonstrations is when the candidate is asked to show how they will perform a task in a controlled setting rather than during actual work time. This is often done for safety, convenience, or time-related reasons. So why we use demonstrations? Sometimes observing the candidate in the actual workplace is not possible. Like for example, the process is so dangerous, like using high voltage machinery. It's too expensive to perform during regular operations. It can be interrupted during real-time work hours. The skills is rarely used but still important in such cases. So demonstrations allows the candidate to show competence in a safe and realistic environment such as training lab or workshop. So what should assessors ensure? The demonstration matches the training regulations, including elements, performance criteria, range of variables, evidence guides. The tools and equipment used are similar to actual industry tools. The site is safety, accessible, and provides enough space for assessment. Like for example, demonstrating proper lockout or tag out procedures for equipment, showing how to lift heavy loads using correct postures and tools, giving a group presentations about a workplace process. Let us now proceed to third-party reporting. So third-party reporting involves gathering evidence from someone else who has directly observed the candidate over time. This could be a supervisor or a team leader who is familiar with the candidate's work. So why is it used during the assessment? So there are many scenarios where the assessors cannot be physically present to observe the candidate. So the workplace is in a remote locations. The work involves private or secure operations. The assessors cannot visit regular, like for example, distance assessment. The tasks might occur during night shifts or emergencies. In such cases, a reliable third party provides feedback based on observation. However, it is important to note that the assessment decision is still made by the assessors, not by the third party. So what must the assessors do? So, the assessor must select a credible third party who understand the work standards, provide guidelines, criteria, and forms to the third party. Ask for specific and evidence-based feedback, verify that the third party understand their role. Like for example, a restaurant supervisor fills out a report describing how a food service staff member handles customer complaints and hygiene practices over the past month. So that's all for my part. The next reporters will continue to discuss the questioning.
Good day everyone, my name is Arsal Achiano and today I'm going to continue our discussion about ways of gathering evidence tests. Number 1 is questioning. Questioning is evidence gathering technique that is widely used in competency-based assessment. Question may be asked oral on a written format. So question is evidence gathering technique used to competency-based assessment to determine whether a learner has the required knowledge, skills, and attitude to meet specific competency standard. This method involves asking the learner question either oral or in written format to gather evidence of their understanding and capability. So the purpose of this question is verify that the learner can express concept, describe process, justify decision, or apply knowledge in various concepts. It helps assessor evaluate underpinning knowledge, critical thinking, and decision making, especially in situations where direct observation of performance. So the second one is oral questioning. Oral questioning involves the assessor asking the candidate a number of questions about simulated or hypothetical situation. The question may be present. Alternatively, assessor may develop their own set of questions to suit the concept of assessment and the requirements of the competency standard. So, example, oral question is an assessment technique where an assessor asks a candidate question to check their knowledge, understanding, and decision making. This can take place in various concepts such as job interview or practical assessment. So, in the oral questioning, this is where the assessor asks you during the assessment. So the next one is record responsiveness. It's important for the assessor to have a record of the question asked and candidates of the sustainability of the responses given by the candidates. So, example, recording proves that the assessment was conducted fairly and according to guidelines. This is important to candidate appeal the result of the assessment. So, for example, if a candidate claimed they were asked an unfair question, the record can confirm what was actually said. So, that's for record responsiveness. So, the next one is what is portfolio. A portfolio contains individual pieces of evidence demonstrating work output that have been collected by the candidates. So, example, a portfolio is a curated collection of documents, projects, or other materials that demonstrate a person's skills or accomplish and progress over time. It is often used in educational purposes or creative field to provide evidence of the learning, performance, or achievement. When we say the portfolio contains individual pieces of evidence demonstrating work output, we mean that it is include specific sample of that what a person has done. That's all for what is portfolio. So the next one is evaluating a portfolio. The provision of workplace document, work sample, and other records in the portfolio does not mean that the candidate is competent. This is the responsibility of the assessor in evaluating a portfolio. The assessor should. So for me, no, assessor should evaluate a portfolio to ensure that the candidate is truly competent and meets the required standard for a specific job role qualification for competency unit. Simply submitted document does not prove competence. The assessor must make a professional judgment based on the clear criteria. So that's all.